Good afternoon to all of you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. If you will refer the chat box, you will find two chapters are there on the agenda today. One is chartering project, and second chapter is stakeholder analysis. So we will start the chartering project in the first half of today's session, and in the second half we will talk about stakeholder analysis.
Good afternoon, sir. Just before proceeding, I
Yes,
could
please.
not down. I am Lavneet Sharma. I could not download Project Charter because I am not in the Teams. Even I requested, but I could not able to download Project Charter.
Today. I will connect you today. You kindly share your email ID on my email ID of IMT CDL. No, on the that I will connect you after the first half of this session itself today, now before closing it, right? Please share
Yes, sir. I already shared you, sir.
my WhatsApp right now. Okay, no issue. I will connect it. Okay, thank you. One minute. I think all of you can see the chartering project. This is a chapter we will cover. This is your chapter number 4 in the book. And I'm just going to start this chapter with one case study. And this case study is already there on the page number 63 of your book. This is a case of Val Aerospace and Technology Corporation. This company is a system engineering solution provider, a wide range of air, space, and counter space products they are providing, engineering and professional analytics service this company is giving. It increases the stakeholder buy-in by addressing and thinking about things upfront. By going through the chartering process, stakeholders take ownership in the project. Project sponsors are typically US government customers. The pre-chartering process and then the project charter. The company, what the pre-chartering process, initial statement of work or objectives, defining their goals for the task, and then selecting among several proposals is the process which we used to call pre-chartering process. The project charter, basically this company is using project charter when they are making, in that they are incorporating the overall project objectives, contrast between the technical approach as written in the company's proposal for execution and sponsor expectations, milestone, checkpoints, and potential payment plans, success criteria and schedule, identification of key stakeholders and risks, process for executing, monitoring, controlling, and overall management of the project. These are the things which we have to incorporate, as the BAL Aerospace and Technology is incorporating these things, have incorporated these things in their project charter. So it is giving us a initial picture to all of us from this caselet, that what is actually the project charter and how this project charter we had to make before proceeding to the detailed learning about chartering a project. So in this chapter, altogether we will try to describe what a project charter is and why it is critical to the success, because project charter is a document which is emerges out after the first phase of the project management. All of you are already knowing the first phase of the project management is I, and this I is called initiation phase. So from moving from initiation to planning phase, how one can come to know that the initiation phase or initiation and selection phase completed once the project charter is ready. So project charter is a document which states that the first phase of the P1 journey of the project completed. So in this chapter, we will know what a project charter is and why it is critical to the project success. We will try to list the various elements of the project charter, and we will learn why each is used. The third important things we will learn in the chartering project chapter is we will try to create each selection of the charter for a small sample project using given project information. Work with team to create a complete project charter for real project. Let us try to understand what a project charter is. Very important word. Project charter. All of you are already knowing. It is a document. It is an informal contract. Very important point. Keywords, please, all of you note down. It is an informal contract. It is given on your chapter also, if you will refer. It is an informal contract. Informal contract between the project team and the sponsor. For example, if your project team is an L&T, Larsen and Turbo, and your sponsor is a Delhi Metro Corporation. So the project team and the sponsor, Delhi Metro Corporation is DMRC is sponsoring the project to L&T. So there is a informal contract between them, and that informal contract is a project charter that we will show you one project charter format also that we have already uploaded on your project management team channel. What is contract? All of you are already aware that a contract is an agreement entered into freely by two or more parties. Agreement enforceable by law is called contract as per the Contract Act. Cannot arbitrarily be changed. It is a contract. Moment any agreement, when the agreement is said to be a contract, once it is legally signed. An agreement enforceable by law Agreement, what is contract? Please note down all of you. An agreement enforceable by law is called contract. So charter, project charter is a contract, informal contract. Cannot arbitrarily be changed. Offers something of value for each party. In the other words, you people are saying in general, MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, a living document that can evolve with changing conditions. I think all of you are clear. Project charter is an informal agreement enforceable by law, and with the agreement between the sponsor and the project executor, it can be changed with time. Signing a charter represents the transaction from the project initiation stage into the project planning stage, that we have already stated, and therefore the charter, once the charter is ready, it means as a project manager you can say that my first P1 journey completed, project management phase 1 journey, selection and initiation completed. And that we have already completed in the session 1, session 2 and session 3, how we have to select and initiate the project with using different type of models. Now, why is a project charter used? 4 major purpose for the project charter you are using, MOU or the informal contract are used. Authorizing the project manager to proceed. You are the project manager and you must know what are the things we have to do under the project. How to, what are the things we have to plan for developing a project for a bridge. So these all are explained and narrated in the form of an agreement paper. And this agreement paper, we used to call them a project charter. So this project charter is authorizing the project manager to proceed. Number 1. Second, it helps the project team. Very important document here. It helps the project team and a sponsor develop a common understanding. You know, if there is a conflict, which document will help us to resolve the conflict? If that is called a breach. Sometime a breach may take place between the two parties. So breach can be resolved with the help of this charter document. So help the project team and a sponsor develop a common understanding, help the project team and a sponsor commit quickly, screen out obvious poor projects. This is the detail have been narrated here, but I have taken a definition of the project charter from PMBOK guidelines, PMI website. This is exactly what the PMI website is telling about project charter. Formally authorizing the project, documents, initial requirements that satisfy the stakeholders' needs and expectation, and provides the project manager the authority to apply resources to the project activities. So the first important thing what the project charter is doing, it is authorizing the project manager to proceed. What the second important things the project charter is doing, project charter is developing a common understanding between the project manager and the sponsor, and it helps in teamwork development, agreement, trust, communication, and least breach between the two parties. When is a charter needed? When is the charter means informal contract is needed? So there is a snapshot which we have also incorporated in your book. When is the charter needed? For section 4.3 of your book on the page number 66. All of you can refer. Section 4.3, page number 66. Here we have given you this slide is already there with you. This exhibit we have already pasted. Here we are talking about the project charter decision matrix. When complexity, these are the various dimensions which, because of these dimensions, we need the project charter. Resource, multidisciplinary, reducing complexity, technology involvement, approval, staff commitment, communication and education. These are the various dimensions, various parameters the project charter is needed to answer and to act on. So the process wherein we need a project charter, that matrix is showing that when we need a project charter, we need when we are looking for a technological involvement. If you are a project manager and if you want to add some technology, you are willing to add some technology in the project wherein you are working, you need to refer the project charter. So therefore, technology involvement, project charter had to be referred. Commitment, project charter had to be referred. Staff communication, project charter have to be referred. So everywhere we need to use the project charter as and when it is required. Now, how to make the project charter? You are the project manager, and because this is the first basic requirement for all of us to make a project charter. How to develop a project charter? In generally, all of you are doing a project report for IMT CDL. There also you are preparing a project report. And here you have to prepare a project proposal that you are calling it as a synopsis. This synopsis is also a research proposal. This is also a project proposal. And this is just like a project charter. Am I with you? So here, in the same manner, synopsis, research project proposal, and project charter, more or less all three are of the same thing, same component. So we must know what are the typical element of a project charter includes, and that is being elaborated in your book. If you are sitting with the book, it is well and good for all of you. Please open the page SLM page number 66. You will find the various elements of the project charters are elaborated in detail. Like the elements which is there, the number one, if you refer it, it is title, it is a scope overview, business case, background, milestone schedule. All are given here. Milestone schedule. One minute. Please hold on. Milestone schedule. Title, a scope overview, business case, background, milestone schedule with acceptance criteria. This is the one thing. Then risks, assumption, constraint, spending approval, budget estimates, communication plan, requirement, team operating principle, lesson learned, signature, and commitment. These are the elements. If all of you please count it one by one, I will elaborate here. Signature and commitment is the last one of any charter or any proposal or any synopsis you are submitting. Title is the starting part. So one by one, I will try to explain you. This is the document which is saying you that what you have to incorporate in which document. Title is very clear to all of you. What is there? What we have to incorporate in the title. If you see here, the title. Here is the title. title is there. And if you look into it, after the title, you have a scope overview, business case, background. So title, scope overview means what you are willing to do in the project, that you have to talk in the scope overview. Number one. Am I clear? Suppose if you are willing to prepare a bridge, what is the scope of making a bridge on this river? What is the scope of developing a new car? Because if you are working in an automobile and if you are working on a new project development, a new software development, why the software is required? That you have to, what is the scope of this new software? That you have to elaborate in a scope overview section. Am I clear? That you have to elaborate in a scope overview section. In the business case, you talk about why. In a background, you talk about why. And milestone scheduling is the very important component of the journey. Milestone scheduling means when you will complete the first activity and what is the window. So when, success criteria, what is the success criteria, risk, assumption, you have to talk, how much budget is there, and who are going to do which job. That is talk about stakeholders in the charter, team operation principle, lesson learned, and signature and commitment. So if you will count it, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 sections are there in the project charter. Each and everything have been elaborated in your book. I am also trying to elaborate it so that you can understand it. Welcome back. There was a call from one of your participants. Anyway, thank you. So I'm just trying to share you once again the document. I think it is shared already. I was talking about a scope overview. I think all of you can see now. One of you please open the mic and say, can you see this slide? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we can see.
Okay, very nice. So now you see, you are going to learn how to make the project charter. Very important part of the project management journey. All of us must know how to develop a project charter, or how to write the synopsis, how to prepare the research project proposal. So the first thing you have to write the title. Second thing, you talk about the scope overview. Here it is a high level. A scope overview is the second section. It is a second section in the sense that here you are talking about high level description of what needs to be added and how it will be done. You talk the project in a nutshell. Used to help prevent scope creep. What is a scope creep? Adding features and functionality without addressing the effects of time, cost, resources, or without customer approval. Business case. Why? The project proposal or justification statement answering the question why you want to improve. Maybe one reason is that the customers are looking for, if you are going to working on a project where you are automobile re-engineering project wherein you have already a car model and you are the member or project manager of that. Why it needs? Because customer looks for a low mileage car, better utility, least feature. So these are the and more automated systems. These are the justification you have to give in this section of your project charter, and this is a project proposal, project purpose or justification statement, and that is called business case. So I request everyone to must go through and prepare this document background. What is your background? What is the business background used to provide more detail to support the scope statement and business case? That background is developing the confidence to the second party, your sponsor. So you talk about the background that we have already worked on this type of project and we have already done these many work. And in the research we are saying that we have already done a lot of literature review. So in the project proposal, you have literature review. What are the different type of this same type of project is available? What is your secondary data is available? What is your primary data is available? What type of literature is available pertaining to this type of project that you have to incorporate in this section, and this is called background or literature review section. Third is a milestone. Milestone means कब क्या करेंगे, when and how. Divide the project into different activity, 3 or 8 intermediate points, and these 3 or 8 intermediate points, yes, we have already completed the first milestone. Suppose the first milestone of the journey we have already completed. The project management is we are learning the project charter. If somebody will ask you what is my milestone in the project management learning? So my milestone is the P1, P2, and P3 and P4. If we will complete the initiation and selection section and project charter, we will develop it. My first milestone completes. So milestone is a point, the intermediate point whose completion can be verified. A summary level schedule. Milestone means suppose in a building construction, if the earthwork is completed, so that can be verified. Earthwork is a milestone. So in 45 days, earthwork will complete. So earthwork is a first milestone that can be checked. Now, coming to the next one, after milestone, you talk about the risk, assumption, and constraint which is involved in project, risk pertaining to economic risk, political risk, legal risk, risk related to technological risk, risk related to some sort of nobody was knowing about this uncertainty which happened during the lockdown, that most of the company have shut down their projects and no work have taken place. So these type of risk you have to incorporate in the discussion. What are the various risks? Maybe you are constructing a bridge and bridge is very close to the seashore, and chances is that sometime a huge tufan, huge wind will come, and that will so what are the precautions we have to take in that part to eliminate the risk? Therefore, the discussion of risk factors that the planning purpose are considered to be true, real, and the constraint and applicable restriction or limitation, either internal or external to the project. These things we have to incorporate and elaborate in this section of the project charter. Then what is risk? I have already explained to you. The next section here is all of you see here is spending approval or budget elements. spending approval and budget element. That section you have to elaborate in the project charter. Primarily, budget should be included the level of confidence in the estimate. Some internal project do not develop formal budgets. You may be facing some difficulty because back end somebody is playing with the system. Therefore, maybe you can feel some difficulty on that. Identify the expense. The project manager can authorize the expense the sponsor needs to control. The team operating principles established to enhance team functioning. Goal is to increase team effectiveness. These things we have to elaborate. A useful team operating principle deal with conducting meetings, making decisions, and treating each other with respect. Then we have lesson learned, how we have to the learning gained from the process of performing the project. What are the things, finding and conclusions, what are you are expecting from the project that you have to elaborate. These are the things we will expect from the project that you have to elaborate in the lesson learned section. And then signature and commitment of both the parties. This is the constructing, this is all about the last section is signature, and this is given in detail. It have already been elaborated in your it is helpful if the sponsor creates the first draft how to construct a project charter. It is helpful how to construct a project charter. Very important part of this section. It is helpful if the sponsor creates the first draft. The organization leadership team may contribute information in addition to the business case and scope overview. 1 to 4 sentences should be written for the scope overview and business case. Some of the things have been elaborated here. If you refer it, background have been discussed. How to prepare the this is the milestone schedule with acceptance criteria is given. For example, needs assessment, hardware selection, vendor selection, installation and configuration. All the time frame have been given, completion date have been given. There, who are the stakeholder involved is given, and acceptance criteria we have to explain in the milestone scheduling section of our project charter. 6 steps are given to construct a milestones. Briefly describe the current situation that required the project. Describe the project and its successful completion.
Sir, are you sharing the screen? I can't see the slides.
Okay, 1 minute. You can't able to see. Okay, very nice. I'm discarding. Can you see? Am I with you, friends?
Yeah, now.
1 minute. Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Yes, okay, fine. Thank you.
So can you please repeat from the sponsors slide,
Okay,
because
I'm
after
coming
that we
to
could
that.
not see.
1 minute, please hold on. I'm coming to that. Please hold on, I am coming. This is the document I have already shared to you and on the team, and this is the blank format how to make the project charter. Can you see all of you? Can you see all of you? Hello? Am I with you, friends? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can see.
You see here on the top, project charter is there, right? In the project charter, this document I have already shared on your project management team, right? You download that. I will paste it also on a session 4 today. Here you write the project title, right? Suppose all of you must do the project for IMT-CDL, at least for that you have to make the project synopsis like that. Project title you have to write, date you have to give. Here you talk about the scope overview, section 1 title, then a scope overview. Here you talk about the business case, then you talk about the background, which is optional. Then you talk about the milestone, schedule and derivative. Now you see, here I'm coming to the, before coming to the PowerPoint, here what are the things we have to write? Milestone, schedule and derivatives. You have to divide your whole project into different activities and their completion date and a stakeholder and their acceptance criteria you have to explain. Then what are the risk and assumptions are there that you have to talk here? Project risk and their assumption, risk owners and contingency plan that you have to talk in this section. Then here you are talking about, next section is a stakeholder section. Who are your primary stakeholders? What is the interest in their project? And who are the other stakeholder and what is their interest in the project that you have to explain here. Here you talk about the next, you see resources required, funds, funding, people, equipment and other things you have to talk here. Resource pertaining to fund, how many people required, how many equipment required, how many other things required. Team operating principle you have to talk here. Lesson learned you have to explain in this section. And the commitment means, your commitment means the signature of the sponsor and their department, organization and signature. A sponsor name, department and their signature. Project manager name, their department and signature. Core team member name, their department and their signature. In this manner, all of you have to prepare the project charter. This is the blank format I have already shared to you. Now each section, coming to each section, and I'm trying to elaborate you.
Sir, what will be there in team operating principle? Please elaborate.
That I'm coming to that. Yes, each section I will talk. Now, can you see all of you my PowerPoint? Here is the background. In the background section, how you have to write a background. For that, I'm sharing you an example of a background section. Orion Academy is a brand new school. It talks about the brand background, how to write a background as a project manager. For that purpose, I'm sharing you one example. Currently enrolling student, it talks about the background of the company which is going to handle the project, right? This is clear. Milestone scheduling, as you have seen the project charter format which I have shared to you. In that, how many columns are there? 4 columns, and same 4 columns exist here. Milestones, different milestones are written here in the first column, hardware section, vendor section, their completion date. Suppose for vendor section, the completion date is 30th May. And who is the stakeholder involved for the vendor section? Operations manager. Am I right? An acceptance criteria, vendor choice with contract is the acceptance criteria under this milestone. Once the vendor have been picked and contract have been signed by the vendor before and this is available on 30th May, then we can say the milestone of vendor selection completed. This is the way we have to make the vendor scheduling with acceptance criteria instruction. Now coming to this is the way how we have to make the 6 steps of constructing milestone have been elaborated. Now risk. The next section is you do a brainstorm all things that could pose a risk into schedule, budget, usefulness of deliverables, and stakeholder satisfaction. What are the quantifying the risk on one of the several dimensions: probability of occurring, impact, timing, and ability to detect. And what two most frequently used dimension you talk about? Risk assessment. There is a detailed chapter we will talk about how to do the risk analysis. But here you must see the risk, wherein impact on the project if the risk event happen, whether it has a high impact or low impact. So low, medium, and high. On an x-axis we have taken the impact, and y-axis we have taken the probability of the risk, means percentage of the risk. High percentage of risk, medium percentage of risk, and low percentage of risk. Probability means out of 1, percentage means out of 100. So that you have to see, and accordingly you pick up the which one is the outside the boundary, and you see here hardware inadequate, associate. These are the important key points you identified, and these key points are the major risk above the line, and that you have to incorporate in the risk section. And spending approvals. Sponsor may have given the project manager a crude budget for consideration. A limit of spending authority for the project manager may have been developed. A stakeholder list. Identify all stakeholders. Means if you see in the snapshot of exhibit 4.11, you will find that the stakeholder means institutional review board, food and drug administrator is a stakeholder, site principal investigator is a stakeholder, pharmaceutical company is a stakeholder, research subject is a stakeholder. So interesting, and what is their interest in the project? Like food and drug administrator is interested in serious adverse events and progress. So these are their interest you have to incorporate and discuss in a stakeholder list. These are the things one of our participants asked: team operating principle instruction. This is a very important document you have to elaborate in your project charter. Team operating principle instruction, you talk about how meeting will be conducted, how decision will be taken, and how work get done. Whether you are going to conduct a weekly meeting, fortnightly meeting, you are making a monthly meeting schedule and floating among the people. So this is the team operating principle. And how you are taking the decision is the decision is taken by the project manager, and after the brainstorming, whatever the best decision is emerging, that decision you are incorporating and taking. These are the things you have to explain in the team operating principle instruction. Establishing how everyone will treat each other with respect. These are the things is coming under the dimension, and these things you have to jot down under the team operating principle instruction on the project charter. One of the illustrations how we have made the team operating principle example of a ABC project team principle that we have narrated here on the PowerPoint. I request everyone to go through and understand that team members will be prepared with minutes from previous meeting, agenda and project updates. Meeting will normally last for up to 90 minutes. Team members will rotate the role of recorders. Each team members will be responsible for setting his or her own deadlines. In the event that the team members cannot have his or assignment completed by the expected date, and decision will be made by team leaders on issue this, consensus on this issue, and delegation on these issues. So this is the way how team operating principle you can frame. I think all of you have already enlightened about how to make the team operating principle in the project charter from this particular slide. The next one is lesson learned instruction. You are doing everything and everything have to be captured, and that lesson you have to learn and use it in the for the future purpose. So that is considering what has worked well and what has worked poorly. Each project should report lesson learned at a key reviews and project completion. This is the things have to be narrated here. Make lesson available in the lesson learned knowledge base. More specific the lesson, the more likely they will found useful. One of the lesson learned example I am sharing you here in this PowerPoint slide. All parties are responsible for defining. This is the way you are giving, you are writing on the project charter so that each and every employee, each and every stakeholder of your company, each and every employee of your project team, each and every member of a project team have to follow these instructions. All parties are responsible for defining and following the project scope to avoid scope creep. All parties should share good and bad previous experiences. Aligning team role to sponsor expectation is critical. Keep a sponsor informed so a sponsor stay committed. Identify any possible change as soon as possible and review previous events for a specific lesson. So the way how you have to narrate, how you have to explain the project lesson learned in the project charter, one of the exhibit is here for you and which will help you in preparing a project charter which I have shared a format to you. I'm requesting all of you who are willing to become an effective project manager must prepare a project charter and send it to me, and I will go through and share you the good comment. I will try to make it correctly. Okay, so please do it. Last section is signature and commitment. I don't want to explain it. Like here is the written that Mr. Any is a sponsor, their signature and date. And these things are no need of further explanation because all of you can understand easily the last part of your project charter. So I have, if you refer your book, I have already explained you how to make the project charter, and we have narrated everything to all of you. And now I'm going to, during the process of learning the project management, and all of you have already learned how to prepare the project charter, we have to use a software for handling the project. Once the project charter is being signed, we as a project manager have to use the software for managing the project. And I have already told you so many softwares are there in the market. Some are paidwares, like most of the big companies are using Primavera, all of you, for managing their project. Primavera, MS Project, by Microsoft Corporation, these all are paidwares, right? Am I with you, friends? Can you hear me? And there are some freewares, and I have already told in the beginning that to install a software, Gantt project software, all of you have seen Gantt project. All of you have installed the Gantt project? Yes, please tell me.
Yes, sir, I have downloaded.
Okay, all of you have downloaded it. If you want, you can respond on the chat box also. Okay, all of you have already downloaded it, and I am just going to share you the Gantt project. Because in this chapter, we have on the page number 77, we are talking about starting a project using Microsoft Project. So instead of using starting the project with a Microsoft project, we are starting with a Gantt project, which is a freeware. MS Project and Primavera is a paidware. So we are going to learn the project management using a freeware, and the name of the software is Gantt project. All of you please download and you open I have already opened this Gantt project, and all of you open with me. Here you have on the top you see project, edit, view, task, resource and help button is there. So please to learn the starting a project, so all of you please click the first window here, and the first window, if you see here, the project is there. So please click the project. Here you have a properties, new, open, recent is given. Please click the new. All of you please click the new and create a new project, untitled project, Gantt project title. Suppose if you want to create a project and give a name of your project, suppose if you are given any name, you give it, project name, title of your project as per your project charter. All of you have already given a title of a project in the project charter. Here you are converting the charter into this software. So in the charter, what is the title given? Suppose my title of the project is Market Potential Study. Market Potential Study of FMCG product FMCG, or straight away I'm writing washing machine in NCR. This is the project I'm doing for my company. Maybe like Lavneet, who is working with an automobile firm, so he can write R&D of the model name for some car R&D, improvement in this particular car, or lead time improvement, or quality improvement in the existing assembly line. This is your project. These are the these type of project name you must have identified in your project charter. If your project charter will get ready, then only you can write the name of your project title here. And from the business case scope and business case, you have to describe. Suppose you are working for a company, like some of you are working for L&T, some are working for Ford Motors, some are working for Maruti Swift. You write the organization for whom you are doing the project. So here you write down the organization. Suppose I am working this project for LG Electronics, because LG is willing to launch a washing machine in NCR region. So I'm doing the project for LG. So organization is LG. Of course, I am the project manager in LG, and if I am doing the project for IMT-CDL, I am a project manager in IMT-CDL, so IMT-CDL. Right? I'm writing. Here you can write your website, and here in the description, you talk about the scope overview from the charter and business case that you have to explain, narrate here. It is already there on the charter. No need of doing too much work. Only thing you copy it and paste it here. So I'm writing the description as an objective to understand, like some of you may be working on a project for IMT-CDL, to understand the market potential of washing machine in NCR region. This is my objective. First, to understand or to describe. What is the objective? To describe the consumer behavior pertaining to washing machine. Like that you can write the behavior I'm leaving it because of time constraint here. You can write 2-3 objective. You can describe what is the objective of this project here, and then you press the next button here. I just click the next button, and after clicking the next button, it is asking, are you going to develop a software development project or default role? So if I want to make a software development project, automatically it have the developer, doc writer, tester, graphic designer, doc translator, analysis, web designing, no specific role. Automatically it will come, right? So I'm taking a default role, and I'm just pressing the next. Here, once I'm clicking the next, then it is asking us to set up the, these all are given in your book. You can initializing the project step 1. If you will refer the page number 79, it is talking about initialize the project, set the project start date, enter the identifying information, and automatically generate a project summary raw MS project, construct a milestone scheduling, and everything we can do with this. And here you can fix up the project. Here the work I'm doing, the initialization, choosing the weekends. Am I working for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Thursday? So my company, IMTCDL, is working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So configure the weekend. So I configured Saturday and Sunday as a weekend. And on weekends, no task can run. That I have already given. On the weekend, all tasks run. That also you can write. Now, holiday calendar you can add. You have the different way to add Ukrainian holiday, United Kingdom holiday, and if you want to customize your holiday, that you can customize it here. Customized holiday you can add. And in the you can add here the date, the recordings, and all these things you can add here. And if you don't want to add anything, none holiday, so none you can put, and then press OK. So my initially I have already completed the project, initiated the project, and now we can save as. We can go for save option or save as option. We can save it. I'm saving it on the desktop because next class also I have to work on the same project. All of you please save your project on the desktop itself. So I'm giving the name of the project was washing machine launch underscore, because I'm using why underscore, because I'm using the snack way of writing. I'm not using the camel way of writing. So this is a snack way of writing. Washing machine LUNCH snack method, and launch for date. I am starting. I'm giving the date also. Today is 16. Washing machine launch. That's all, and I'm saving it. My project is already saved on the desktop, and my initiation step is already completed. And next day onward, we will start adding the milestone and Gantt chart, creating how we can add the resource, how we can create all these things that we will explain you in the coming classes. So today you learned how to initiate your project, how to create the charter from this chapter. Now we have concluded this chapter. Remaining parts we will explain you how to add the activity and construct the milestone schedule. Here you can construct it by adding here. You can add here. You can add the task. You can add new task is there. You can add a new task here. Yeah, and I have already added one task, right? And first task I'm adding it because, and then I will do a self-test of this chapter, and then we will start the next chapter, and then we will start next class onward. We will add the first task I'm adding here is in the market potential of washing machine. What I will do first, I have to find out, I have to create a question. I have to find out the first step I am doing is to understand the washing machine potential, I will create a questionnaire. So create a questionnaire, which questionnaire we will circulate among the consumers of the washing machine to know whether they are interested in purchasing the washing machine or not. So my first activity here is creating questions. Am I right? Creating question. Instead of that, in a better way, I'm writing designing questions. Designing questionnaire. Designing questionnaire is my first step, and designing questionnaire, this is the first activity under the project. All of you are knowing project is a set of activities. So first activity of my project is designing the questionnaire, and you just right click here, right click. I just right click the mouse, and here you open the task properties. All of you, please. Name is designing questionnaire. Is it a milestone? No. Designing questionnaire is not a milestone. So I'm not clicking here. When this project is beginning date today, 18 Jan 2021. How many days you want to take in designing the questionnaire? All of you have to design the questionnaire along with me. So because we are meeting tomorrow, so 19 is there. So I am taking one big time. So 7 days I am taking. So I am taking 7 days to do this. Duration I am already given, and I am just you want to give a low priority, high priority, or normal. So I'm giving the high priority because it is a starting of the project. So that I'm giving it here. And then progress check, timeline, nothing I'm adding. I'm not adding the procedures. We will add some more activity, then the procedure is required, and who are the resource person who will do under that I will add it. So here my resource person is only one. I will add this work, and the resource name I am adding here, that I have to add the resource. Nobody is there in the resource. So I have to add a man who will do the project for me. That we will add as a resources here button. So I'm just pressing OK. One activity is completed. So my designing questionnaire is started from today, and it has to complete before 27th of January, right? 27th of Jan, right? So this way we have to add so many activity. We have to fix which activity is a milestone activity, beginning date, end date. We have to add the resource here. New resource we can add. We can add a new resource. I'm adding new resource here. N.MISHRA Misra, and his phone number 931. Please note down, all of you, my phone number, those who are not knowing, 931-220-8371. You add my email ID. Please note down my email ID also if you don't have, nmisra@imtcdl.ac.in, and then press OK. And you want a default role you can put. I am putting the role as a project manager. My role is a project manager. I am pressing OK. Am I clear? Now I can just, I'm going to, who will play the role in the designing the questionnaire. So I'm clicking the task properties. I'm going to resource button. And here I'm allocating the resource. I'm allocating the resource name NM Misra. 100% NM Misra will coordinate, 100% unit as a project manager. I am pressing OK. So my work started from here. The journey started from here. This is all, that's all coming back to the MCQ. Please come, all of you, on a MCQ, self-test. That's all. We have completed this chapter. Self-test now. Self-test, chapter 4. I'm requesting everyone to go to the page number 82. First, we will complete the self-test, then we will start the next chapter, which is there on my agenda today. First question. Which of the question number 1, please go all of you. Which of the following is not a purpose of an approved project charter? Question number 1. Please see all of you. Am I with you, friends? Can you hear me? Hello? I don't know whether I'm here or not. Yes. Please see the question number 1. Which of the following is not the purpose of an approved project charter? A. Formally authorizing the existence of a project. B. Provides detailed information about the financial resource. Helps the team and a sponsor develop a fundamental foundational understanding of the project requirement. And D. Provides project manager with authority to apply organizational resource to the project. Which one is the answer? Tell me.
B.
Question number 1.
D, sir.
D. So correct answer is B.
Yeah, B, sir.
B is correct answer. Okay. Question number 2. Please read the question number 2, all of you. Adding a project after it has already begun without making adjustment to time, cost, or resource is known as. Very important question. Adding. You can refer the chapter. I have already told one very important word. Adding to the project after it has already begun without making adjustment to the time, cost, or resource is known as scope creep, risk, milestone, acceptance criteria.
A, sir.
Very good. Question number 2, scope creep. Question number 3. Question number 3. It is convenient and time consuming for the employees to walk across campus every day to eat lunch, which is why we need an employee lunch room in our buildings. Is an example of project scope, business case, milestone schedule, and constraint. Very practical
Constraint.
Question number 3, answer is D, constraint. So we will do only 4 questions and we will start the next chapter. The last question which I am going to ask from you to check whether you understood the project charter in chapter or not. Question number 4. What information does the project charter contains that signifies how the customer or user of the final product, service, or result will judge the deliverables in order to determine that they have been completed satisfactorily. High-level project risk, measurable objective and acceptance criteria, high-level project boundary, and project assumptions. Question number 4.
B. Measurable objectives
and acceptance.
B, sir.
Okay, very good. So now remaining question is in your desk. All of you please read question number 5 to 10 and try to, and please write the answer only, question and answer on the chat box. This is your time. 5 minutes time is there. All of you please do it. Finish it. This is your time to do the self-test. Question number 5. I will not read. All of you have to write question number 5 and answer. If somebody will write a wrong answer, I will correct. In between, I am trying to upload the next chapter. All of you, please complete your test. Question number 5. Question number 5.
5A, sir.
A. Okay. The project charter should include factors that are considered to be true, real, or certain without proof or demonstration. These are known as risk. Please check once again. Question number 5, once again, please check it. Okay. Five B, correct. Question number 5B is a correct answer. Okay, very good. Next, question number 6. Question number 6.
A.
Question number 6.
Sir, A.
Okay. Okay, we will Ajit, we will upload this PPT on the project team channel. No issue. Okay. So all of you,
sir.
okay. Please stop it. Now we will start the new chapter, stakeholder analysis and communication plan. I am just trying to upload this PPT. All of you can you see the PPT now on the screen? Can you see all of you the PPT?
Yes.
Yes, okay, fine. Chapter 5 is stakeholder analysis and communication planning. Important thing here is once your project charter is ready today and you have already prepared, you have already identified the software Jan project and you already added the project name, their scope and their business cases, and one activity you have already framed it. Now the next step is you have to do the brainstorming. You have to identify your team members and conduct the meeting. So how to identify the team members and what are the various methods are there of conducting a meeting in a project process, that is being elaborated here in this chapter number 5, and that is name is stakeholder analysis and communication planning. We started with a small caselet and all of you must go through this caselet. The highest 3-star level and the largest built green certified community in the Washington state. The largest component of state away I am coming, that caselet you must read it. Here in this case, in this chapter, we will enumerate and describe the project stakeholders. We will enumerate, we will not elaborate. And after enumerating, then we will elaborate, describe the project stakeholder. This is my objective of this chapter, this activity. Sub-objective of your project management learning. How to build project relationship. We will also understand the project communication plan. How we have to communicate with my team members as a project manager. An important thing is a project communication plan. Most of the time, a team member is writing a mail, and instead of writing to a project manager, putting so many people on CC. And why it is happening? Because as a project manager, you have not created a proper chart communication plan that if you are writing a mail to X, to whom you have to put it on CC, to whom you have to put it on BCC. These are the things coming under the steps of developing a project communication plan. Facilitate the project meeting, understand the communication challenges. Project selection, prioritization, and initiation phase. Till now, we have learned chapter 2, draft the scope, overview, business case, and priorities. On chapter 4, you learned developing the project charter. Before this self-test, and we all learned we have to sign the charter, chapter 4. And in this chapter, which is chapter 5, you are going to learn in two documents. You are going to learn how to create stakeholder register and communication plan. These are the two important registers here. The basis for executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing all project work is depending upon how we have to develop the project management plan. Steps: planning, execution, monitoring. Execution, monitoring, controlling, and closing. Everything is depending upon your planning. And planning, the first step of your planning is develop a project management plan. Develop the outline of the project management plan. What is project management plan? A formal approved document that defines how the project is executed. After planning, you think about the second step, PE: executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. You know, once you are starting the development of a project plan, certain things will emerge as a cloud in your mind. Number one is time. We have to complete in time the project. What is my budget? What are the resources we have? What are the risks involved in doing the project? And how can we able to ensure the quality? And what is the scope and how to communicate with my stakeholders? These are the different cloud. These are the different ideas. These are different things is moving around in my mindset as a project manager. Therefore, the first important things we have to set up is we have to set up a proper planning communication plan, a process of determining the project stakeholders, information, how to move the information, communication approach, and that is the plan communication. And your communication is perfect. If your communication is effective, you can effectively do who, what, where, and when, and how. These are the things we can easily complete. So the document, communication management plan is a document. An expectation for the project, how and in what format the information will be communicated. So whenever you are making a communication project management plan, you must take a formal approval from your PMO, key project officer, and time and again you have to get revised by the formal approvals. The success of your project, as your cloud, you can see the success of the project is depending upon two important things. hard skill and soft skill both. Project planning activity, effective execution, monitoring, control, and closure. This is the hard skill, and it is the left hand of your project. You need to have a effective execution, monitoring, and control and closure, left hand, hard skill, and right hand, the soft skill, relationship building activity, and respect and trust. Then only you can deliver any project successfully. So try to understand the stakeholder. In the process of understanding doing a stakeholder analysis, the first thing is requirement. Understand who are my stakeholders. Multiple users with different requirements may not know what they want, may not be the actual user, stakeholder other than the users. Project managers, stakeholder response, understand as a project manager, we have to understand who is my stakeholder, build the relationship with the stakeholders and develop a communication plan for dealing with the stakeholders. The first important part in a stakeholder analysis is identifying the stakeholder, a process of identifying all the people or organization impacted by the project and documenting the relevant information regarding their interest, involvement, and the impact on the success of the project is the part of the first phase under the stakeholder analysis, that is called identifying stakeholders. Examples of the project stakeholder, all of you say. For example, two types of stakeholders are involved here. One is internal stakeholder who are directly from inside the basket, with the owner of your company, sponsor, project managers, functional managers, competing project, financing resources, project core team, employee. These are your internal stakeholders affected by the project process. Then you have external stakeholder who are supplying the raw material, ITA, GADA, everything, cement, everything which is supplied by your supplier. Suppliers, partners, creditors, government agency, neighbors, client, media, taxpayers, union. These are your, and competitor are your external stakeholders. Customer is also an external stakeholder affected by the project result. So these are the directly affected stakeholders, and indirectly affected by the project result is your internal customers. A sponsor is your internal, these are your internal affected project result. Client, public, these are external people. So identifying the project, use the classic rule of brainstorming. How a project manager can identify who is my internal stakeholder and who is my external stakeholder, the classical rule is there. Brainstorm, baatcheet karo, talk with each other, try to find out who are getting internally affected, externally affected, who are getting directly affected, indirectly affected. The list, the project process and result stakeholder may be interested. Combine a stakeholder list into a group. For example, how we can do identify the stakeholder? You develop this type of snaps, this type of a tabular table, wherein you have to jot down in one what are the various stakeholders are there, and what they are looking for from our side, from a project manager. So we have already done this work, a success criteria for various stakeholders. Customer is my stakeholder as a project manager, end user, customer management, project managers, contractor management, project team members, and subcontractor. These are my stakeholders in my project. And what they want from us: on time, on budget, meeting requirement, partnership, profit realization. So these are the various activities, various expectation of the different stakeholders we have jotted down, and we try to find out which is having the maximum numbers. For project managers, everywhere it is they are enabled. So this way this type of matrix diagram wherein you can write their stakeholders. This matrix diagram is a stakeholder versus success criteria. Success criteria checklist, check sheet. You make a check sheet. Stakeholders versus success criteria check sheet, and this stakeholder versus success criteria check sheet will help you in identifying the stakeholders. The second step in the stakeholder analysis is prioritizing the stakeholders. Once you have identified using the stakeholder versus success criteria check sheet, you used it and identified your stakeholder, then the second is you have to give the priority. To whom we have to keep it in the A category, B category, C category. So this is called prioritization of the stakeholders. Something have, what happened? Can you, am I with you, friends? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Prioritizing the stakeholders, proximity, power, and urgency you have to consider. This is the stakeholder identification and prioritization matrix you have to use. Please take the snapshot of this. This is already given, a stakeholder identification and prioritization matrix. Page number 94 we have already given. You can write down the stakeholder interest, process, and their priority, proximity, power, urgency, and total you can count down and you can write down. You can make the alternative BRICS project stakeholder matrix. In the process of identity prioritization, set clear direction, prioritize the objective, develop a shared sense of risk. Building core team relationship. Very important part of the in the success of the project is building a core team relationship. Mutual respect and trust promote the successful project and relationship building activities. Project decision making guides you can use, and then we have to make the relationship mutual trust, respect to each stakeholder. So we have seen a stakeholder, how to do the stakeholder analysis, identifying the stakeholders and prioritization matrix and check sheet. So use the check sheet to identify the stakeholder and use the prioritization matrix to prioritize the stakeholder, and then develop a project decision making guide. This is a project decision making guide, how we can make the project decision making guide pertaining to each stakeholders so that a mutual trust will come between the stakeholders. These are the 3 steps involved in the stakeholder analysis journey. The second component of this chapter is, and this part is, once you have already identified your stakeholder, you have already framed the matrix, prioritized the stakeholders, and then you have already developed a plan for mutual respect between the stakeholders, how to communicate with them. That is called communication planning. That is given in this chapter. In the second part, if you will refer communication planning, building a communication plan. We are living in the communication age wherein lot of communication channels are there. Purpose of the project communication management plan is communication plan consideration, have a communication matrix and knowledge management. The purpose of the project communication plan is to set and manage the expectation, resolve the conflict desires, and ensure project work is completed, and document the meaningful lesson. To determine the required communication from the stakeholders, you have to determine the requirement, to uncover and resolve issue, and to receive the feedback. communication to the stakeholders for decision making. We need why we have to go with a communication to the stakeholder for decision making, to assure adequate understanding, to enable full commitment. 6C is very important in the project communication. Whenever you are communicating with your stakeholders or your team members, clearly state the subject, concisely make the point, courteously deliver the message, consistently reinforce your point, respect confidentiality at all times, and compel the recipient to be receptive. These are the 6 C's we have to follow. Very important 6 C's are there that you have to compel, respect, confidentiality, compel, consistency, courtesy, concisely and clearly. In the communication matrix, very important things we have to ensure: who to learn from, what to learn, and who to share with, and what to know, and when to know, and who is responsible. This is the project communication matrix we are using in the project management. They are stakeholders, what the project team needs to learn from this stakeholder, then what the project team needs to share with these stakeholders, that is to be jotted down in this matrix, timing, effective methods, and owners. This is the way we have to make the project communication matrix. Very important document is here, and this document is telling you how to communicate and how to communicate, what to communicate, how to communicate, when to communicate, and what is the effective method of communication. One of the snapshots I'm sharing here, like these are the various stakeholders are there in a project communication matrix. If you look into this, Vice President Student Affair is there. Learn from the definition of success, share with wins, at art and win, and the method of communication is email, and his owner is a advisor. Am I right? So this is the way how we can make the project communication matrix. And this is the project communication matrix, which is, if you are writing to Vice President Student Affairs, you can put the advisor on CC. Then knowledge management, capture and reuse the knowledge developed. Always you have to capture the knowledge, create a lesson learned, and facilitate the lesson learned sessions for the project. So this is the project management part, which is a part of communication planning. You have to set up this. The important component, once you have done the stakeholder analysis, you have already made a communication plan matrix and the knowledge management capturing mechanism. Then the next step is always a project manager have to conduct a meeting, right? So meeting means meeting with the employee, meeting with the stakeholder. So you must know what is the standard practice of the project meeting management. Establish a project plan, conduct a project activity, verify progress, accept the deliverables, and close out the project. So here the improving the project meeting. We have to apply a PDCA models. Any process practiced repeatedly will improve over time. This is the PDCA model applied to project meeting, right? So what is the time has already completed. So here project management meeting we will discuss from next class onward. We are leaving here only because you need to know lot many things because this is a very important component of for a project manager. How to conduct a meeting, how to decide the agenda, how to note down the delta point, plus points, and then make a minutes. All these things we have to learn under the project meeting management. So next class onward, next class is tomorrow itself at 10 o'clock. We will start with a project meeting management, and then after project meeting management, we will do the self-test. In between, I am requesting everyone, because tomorrow all of you have to come with and we will learn the project meeting management. And then our agenda is scheduling of project. Very important chapter, scheduling of the project. Chapter 6 we will learn. Very, very important chapter of the whole project management journey is chapter 6. So don't miss chapter 6 tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And in between, I'm requesting everyone to go to the page number 108 today evening and do the self-test of this chapter 5 and revise this chapter, how to do the stakeholder analysis and communication plan. And don't forget to do all the 10 questions. And their answers you have to share. I thank you very much. Any doubt if you have, please ask me. I'm just stopping here. This is your Q&A time.
Sir, one question from my side.
Yes, please tell me. Subham?
Yeah, actually, I am in procurement department, purchasing department. So,
Okay.
generally we used to make SOWs, statement of works, like
Yes.
scope of work. So
Okay.
that comes under project charter. That is a contract.
Okay.
And there is one more document which is known as MSA, Master Service Agreement.
Okay.
So both are they both come under project charter contract, or the MSA will come under project management plan? Because MSA generally talks about how two companies will work together.
Wherever the memorandum of understanding is there between two parties and a scope of improvement is incorporated into the agreement, agreement enforceable by law is called contract. Am I clear? So if your document is a legal document, legal agreement between the two parties, it is a contract, right? Now coming to the is your document is your whatever the document you discuss, is this document is a one time document, or it will continue time and again, right? That is because the project important characteristics of the project is a one time project. One time there is a starting point, there is a end point, and once the project will complete everything, all the contract will null and void, will become null and void. So is your document is related to the project, or is it related to the continuous process, like in time and again you will use the document for one work, for another work, or like that? So is it a project charter or a work charter? So maybe your project, your documents are coming under the category of work charter, not as a project charter, but it is a charter. It is a formal it is an agreement enforceable by law. Yes.
So there are both types of documents, basically for
Okay.
service and as well as products. So this is the
Okay.
thing.
Okay. So maybe it is depending upon, after going through the document, one can decide whether your document but all documents are a contract paper. That much is clear, right?
Sir,
Any other?
like like if the document is called contract, if it is incorporated on some stamp, legal stamp, or if it is having some signatures of the project team members as well as the sponsor, then it is also considered a contract. So I just
No,
want to.
no. Moment if you two parties signing the on a not on a legal document, then it is an agreement, right? Once it is signed on a stamp paper, right? Judicial stamp paper, then only you can say it is a contract, right? Agreement enforceable by law is called contract, and contract. So if you two parties signing and no any legal document, legal judicial stamp have been used, then it is a agreement, right? Not a contract, right? So contract means you must get it signed on a stamp paper and you make it legal, right? As per the Contract Act. So thank you, Subham. And we are just concluding the session 4, and till now we have completed all the initiation, selection and prioritization phase. We learned how to make the project charter, And we also learned how to do the stakeholder analysis and communication planning. Next class, session 5 tomorrow at 10 o'clock. All of us will learn, start with a project meeting management, how a project manager have to conduct a meeting, and that we will start with, which is there from this as chapter number 5. And then the backbone of this project management is scheduling project, which is there in the chapter number 6, and that we will learn tomorrow. So I request everyone must come and join the session 6, session 5 tomorrow, because you are going to start a very important chapter. In between, I'm requesting everyone, don't forget to do all the 10 questions which is given on the end of each chapter. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Sir, please add us in our project team.
I'm adding Lavneet,
I-
no? Okay, I'm adding
I
Jasper.
already shared.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you.
I'm adding it. You be there, and if you confirm it on my WhatsApp, I'm closing the session. I'm leaving the session. You just confirm me on my WhatsApp, okay? Or you can call me on my mobile number.
Sir, I already sent you WhatsApp again.
एक minute. Go here and stop recording. Stop recording.